Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Dekho Apna Desh. We are moving forward each week and we are achieving new milestones and we are exploring more about the unexplored India and letting people to know about the less visited destination and lesser known destinations. Now we have completed more than 160 episodes, and today we have with us one of our renowned guide from Jodhpur, and the subject also is Jodhpur and its monuments. So to go ahead with this, we have Mr. Kunal Singh Rathore, who is a renowned guide and having 20 years of experience. He is expert in dealing with the foreign tourists, and he is related with some companies also, those who provide him tourists for the guiding. So to introduce him, we have Dr. Ajay Singh, who is the past president of Tourist Guide Association and very much associated with our effort, and he is a key person to give the resources. So Dr. Ajay Singh, kindly introduce Kunalji and start the show.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your guidance. Actually, it was started by Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, with um, coordination with Tourist Guide Federation of India, and we always choose a destination, and we always provide the best guide from that destination. What is the our motto that we always choose the son of soil. So Kunal Singh Rathore, who born in Jodhpur, and most important thing, he completed his MBA in tourism from Indian Institute of Travel and Tourism, Noida. So he is a renowned person. He is well educated, and he works for the several renowned company of the world, especially for the American series. He is working, and these companies are sending a lot of tourists to India. Our this program, which is the well known among the travelers, now becoming more and the more popular, and it is helping the domestic, especially the domestic traveler who is traveling different destination. And the success of this program is itself a big success in domestic tourism industry. We are attracting a lot of tourists from the different part of the country who is coming to our destination. Kunal Singh Rathore is also well known for his photographs, and he took the photograph of his, the city, and always he keep posting on his Facebook page, which is our motto as well. We all the tourism fraternity, tourism workers, or the tourism lovers, we should take a photograph of our city and we should post it on our Facebook page. We must tag it with Incredible India and Ministry of Tourism. So here now, without any late, we are inviting Kunal Singh Rathorji. Kunal Singh Rathorji, now stage is yours. Come forward and show us a beautiful Jodhpur. Kunal Singh Rathorji.
Welcome everybody. I Kunal Singh Rathore welcomes all in the city of Rathores, Jodhpur. The city of Jodhpur was a capital of a state called Marwar, whose flag you can see on my screen also. The flag has a five colors, and all these five colors, the orange represents sacrifice, white for the peace, and a red color is a very special color for us. This is remind us the history of Jodhpur and the brave rulers of Jodhpur, especially Maharaja Gat Singh first when he defeated Malikamba. He took away his flag and added that color into our flag. In 1621, Maharaja Gat Singh ji defeated Malikamba. The yellow represent the sun because we are the solar dynasty rulers, and green is for peace, prosperity, and friendship. This, the current city of Jodhpur is the second largest city of Rajasthan with a population of 1 million people. 80% of our population is Hindu, 15% Muslims, and 5% other religious people lives in the city of Jodhpur. City of Jodhpur is also a very important city as far as Rajasthan is concerned. It's one of major exporting cities. 300 containers a day we export from Jodhpur. These are the textile and wooden furniture. These are the two main area of our export, which is making the economy of the Jodhpur also, and this is one of the main economic activity after agriculture. 30% of our population, directly or indirectly, into the business of exporting handicrafts, which is making this industry is a $200 billion industry. The city of Jodhpur is also known as the Blue City of Rajasthan because the oldest settlement uh, are painted with the blue color. When Rao Jodha founded its new capital in 1459 and the settlement started, the Brahmin of Jodhpur started painting their houses with this blue color. This blue color is for a scientific reason. Jodhpur is known for its sunlight. In Jodhpur, we are the man in the country, we get the maximum sunlight. Average sunlight duration of Jodhpur is 8 hours and 30 minutes from a sunrise to sunset, which is the maximum in the country at the moment. So the Brahmin started painting their houses with this blue color to keep their house little bit cooler because this blue color reflect the ultraviolet rays of sun and keep their house little bit cooler. Soon after Brahmin started painting their houses with the blue color, the city followed the Brahmin and it automatically became blue. In this blue color, we are just mixing indigo in a lime powder. As far as the monuments of Jodhpur are concerned, one of the major monuments of the city is its fort, which is named as MEHRANGARH Fort. Actual name of this fort was Mehergarh. When Rao Jodha shifted his capital from Mandore to here, he also built this fort. To provide more protection to the city, he made a wall all around the city also, which was 10 kilometers in the circumference, keeping Mehrangarh Fort exactly at the center of the city of Jodhpur, with 9 entrance gates in a different directions. Today, Mehrangarh Fort is a main monument of the city and which will definitely take the maximum time of a tourist to visit this particular monument. It takes at least 1.5 hours to visit this magnificent fort of Rathores. Uh, this is the entrance gate of the Mehrangarh Fort, which is known as Jaipal, and this gate was erected in 1810 when to commemorate our victory over Jaipur. That's why this gate is called Jaipal. The gate has been decorated with some beautiful miniature painting on both the sides of it. Uh, on my, when you are facing Jaipal on your right hand side, you will see a painting which is depicting the wedding procession of Lord Shiva and the paintings of Ganesh, Saraswati, Durga, and Kushmanda. On my left hand side of Jaipal, there is a painting of Maharaja Man Singh of Jodhpur. Uh, Maharaja Man Singh is one of a great poet during his reign. Our painting reaches to his zenith also. When you are entering into the fort of Jodhpur, there are the two ways to start your sightseeing or the visiting of the fort. One way, and which is a very popular way, is to take an elevator to go up. Another way is that you have to walk a steep slope, which will lead you to Lohapol, and from there you can enter into the museum part of the fort. Uh, This is the first courtyard from where we start our sightseeing program, which is known as Sringar Chowk. The Sringar Chowk is actually the coronation site for the rulers of Jodhpur. In the photograph on my left hand side, you can see a one marble platform. This is the platform which is generally used by the Maharajas of Jodhpur for the coronation of a new ruler. Above the Sringar Chowk, whatever the palaces you are watching, these are the uh, female complex of the Mehrangarh fort. The fort of Jodhpur was the residence of the Maharajas of Jodhpur till 1895, and then they moved out from the fort. In 1971, current Maharajas Gat Singh II converted this palace or a fort into a museum when he created a non-profitable trust, Mehrangarh Museum Trust, which is now managing this property. The royal family have no income from this fort. Whatever fort generates, it goes back to the fort for its maintenance. In Sringar Chowk, there are the two uh, big halls, which are the part of our sightseeing. The first hall has some beautiful elephant seats used by the Maharajas of Jodhpur. In the olden days, the elephants were used for a long distance travel, in hunting, in a procession, and even in a battlefields. All these elephant seats are made up of wood, and then they are covered with silver. And some of them have been polished with gold also. The front seat is for the Maharaja and the back is for the bodyguard. The next hall has some beautiful palanquins. These palanquins were used by the royal family of Jodhpur for short distances. Here, I have shown you the two beautiful palanquins or the palkis we have. On my right hand side, this is the palki for the royal ladies, or the covered palkis of this hall are for the ladies, and all the open palkis are for the male. The palki which is on my left hand side is the one of the most beautiful uh, palki of this palki section, and it is called Palki Tamjham. This was actually a palanquin for crown prince. The beauty of this palanquin is the peacock which you see. It looks like wooden to you, but it's not wood. It is made with a thin iron sheet and then painted with lacquer in such a way that it gives you a wooden look. Whereas on my right hand side, this is the palanquin made out of wood. Top has a painting done with lacquer on it. Wood has been carved out and then it is painted with gold. Whenever the royal ladies are in, the door get closed. On the other sides, there are some windows for the ventilation. Generally, four people used to carry them, but the number of a carrier always increases or decreases according to the weight of the palanquin and the weight of a person sitting in it. After the Sringar Chowk, you come into the second courtyard of the fort, which is known as DAULATKHANA Chowk or Hall of Treasures. Here in this hall, and also in the photograph which you see on your left hand side, you see a corridor with the palace. This is the corridor. If you take an elevator, you straight away reaches to Daulat Khana. And in Daulat Khana, there is a hall where we have kept some beautiful artifacts. One of them is the palanquin which you see on this presentation of mine on the right hand side. This is the palanquin Mahadol. It's one of the heaviest palanquin of the Mehrangarh port, and it came as a war booty to us. In 1730, when Maharaja Abhay Singh of Jodhpur defeated the governor of Gujarat, Sir Buland Khan, he took away his palanquin and brought it here. This palanquin is made out of wood and then it is painted with gold. This is one of the highlight of the Daulat Khana Chowk and Daulat Khana Hall. After Daulat Khana Hall, you reaches to another hall at the treasury. Now it has been shifted at the top of the fort, but earlier it was where the miniature gallery is now. This is the armory of the Rathores. On my left hand side, all these spears which you are watching, these are used for hunting of a wild boar. Whereas some beautiful swords uh, on my right hand side, the first sword in the extreme left is the sword of Amar Singh Rathore, a ruler who died in a fort of Agra. And on the extreme right, this is another unique sword. It's a two in one. It's a small pistol is associated with this particular sword also. Rest all are the different types of swords which you see. Another one which is a fourth from left to right. This is a special sword which has been how a snake moves on the ground. Similar way the sword has been designed also. And if you see the hilt of this sword, a hood of cobra is also there. We call it Nagmukhi. Adjoining Daulatkhana Chowk or Daulatkhana Hall, where you have seen these palanquins and some of the swords of the Maharajas of Jodhpur, then you reach to a miniature gallery. This is the school of miniature painting which we have here in Jodhpur, known as Marwar painting. Our painting, earlier painting, I have a clear cut influence of a Mughal miniatures onto them. But later, slowly, painter have created some independent paintings. What you are seeing over here also. On my left hand side, the painting is Maharaja playing Holi, and on the right hand side, this is the portrait of Maharaja Man Singh. The Marwar School of Miniature Painting has some beautiful features, especially the paintings are on paper. This is the handmade paper known as vasali, on which we have painted. Colors are natural colors like in all other miniature schools, but half open almond shape eyes. This is the uniqueness of this school, and a heroism which you see on a face. This is the one or two main features of this miniature gallery. All the paintings in this gallery are of a different subject: courtly life, mythological paintings, religious paintings, hunting scene. All have been a subject where the painters of Marwar have painted up. And all these paintings which has been exhibited in this miniature gallery are 200 to 350-year old. The oldest painting which is exhibited in this particular gallery is of 1729. After a steep some steps, you reach to a sheesh mahal. uh, this is now have been converted into a textile gallery also. You can see some masterpieces of our textile, as well as this one of the main highlight of our Mehrangarh Fort, Sheesh Mahal. This is a 19th century's palace built by Maharaja Man Singh, and this particular palace, whose photograph you are watching, it's his puja room. That's why on every arch there are the idols of god and goddesses in it, which has been cut out from the plaster of arch itself. And after cutting the plaster, whatever the cavity was created there, they have placed a mirror in it. That's why this palace is known as Sheesh Mahal. On my left hand side, in the photograph of Sheesh Mahal, what you see on the floor is actually the original ceiling of this palace, which was broken and now have been placed at the floor, whereas the ceiling has been totally restored. Coming next, after the Sheesh Mahal, you will walk up to the one of the most beautiful palace of this whole fort. It's called Phool Mahal. It's just because everywhere in this fort, this particular palace, which was the 18th century's palace, you will see a flower pattern in it. Beside that, there are the Ragmala paintings as well as the portraits of Maharajas and the paintings of god and goddesses is decorating this whole palace, which was a hall of a private audience where the Maharaja used to hold its private meetings and private dance parties. Even the ceiling is also made out of wood and then have been covered with gold. At the screen also somewhere you can see some colored glass. These are the glass which has been later added into this hall of in this hall. They all have been imported from Belgium. They are colorful from inside, but from outside they are of a one color. From inside you can see outside, but as from outside it's very difficult to see in. These are the some of the features of the full Mahal of Jodhpur. After full Mahal, you reaches up to the top where the tourists can go. And here we have a bedroom of the 29th ruler of Jodhpur, Maharaja Takhat Singh. That's why it is called Takhat Vilas. The highlight of this particular palace is that this is the last construction in this fort also. It is built in 1843. Another highlight, the ceiling of this palace is made out of wood. And you will not find an inch of wood without lacquer painting on it. All the walls have been decorated with miniature paintings. Even the floor is painted. That's one of the rare example in India that you see the fresco done to the floor also. The ceiling has been decorated with these Belgium glass ball which have been imported from Belgium. If you lit a candle down, these different color Belgium glass ball will reflect the different lights on the ceiling. After Takhat Vilas, as you walk down, you reaches to the one of the oldest part of this fort, and it is the female complex also. The buildings or the palaces which you have seen from a Shingar Chowk photograph, now you are inside those palaces. These all were the palaces where the Maharanis and the royal ladies used to reside in the Mehrangarh fort. This is called Moti Mahal is just because this whole palace got a very special plaster. This plaster is of 70% lime powder and 30% mother of pearl powder. It's mixed together and then it is plaster. So whenever a light hits the area, it gives you a luster of pearl. And that's why the whole complex is known as Moti Mahal or Palace of Pearl. Rao Jodha started building this fort in 1459, and after him whoever have succeeded the throne of Jodhpur have added into it. So the Mehrangarh, present Mehrangarh has a construction of 500 years of Rathore rule. This was the one of the oldest part of the fort which was built by Rao Jodha himself as his residence. The ground floor of this palace is the male complex in those days, and the first and second floor was the female complex at that day. This is the last palace or a courtyard you visit as a fort museum, and then you are getting exit from the fort. Now I'm going on to the second main monument of Jodhpur, which is known as Jaswant or a Taj Mahal of Jodhpur. The 30th ruler of Jodhpur, Jaswant Singh II, chosen this place that when I die, I should be cremated here on the bank of Devakund. After he died, he was cremated here, and then this building was built in a memory of Jaswant Singh by his wife. That's why this building is also known as Taj Mahal of Jodhpur. The whole building is entirely made out of marble, and a marble came from the same mines from where Taj got its marble, the mines of Makrana. Inside this complex, uh, we have all the paintings of the rulers of Jodhpur with their reign period mentioned on each painting, starting from Rao Sihoji. up to the father of the current Maharaja. The highlight of this main building, which is typically is that because the marble is a translucent rock, and on a sunny day when you go inside the complex, you will see the sunlight coming through the marble. That's one of the most beautiful thing which you can see in Jaswant Thara. Now this area is used by the relatives and the main royal family for their cremation. Building is now divided in two parts. Adjoining area of the building is used by the relatives of royal family where they cremate the bodies, whereas the main building is used by the main royal family for their cremation. Beside Jaswant Singh's second Senate of, inside the Jaswant you will see the Senate of all the other four rulers up to the current Maharaja's father are, are made in a marble here. The third main monument of the city of Jodhpur is Umaid Bhawan Palace. This is one of the youngest palace, one among the 10 biggest private palaces of the world. The total area of this palace is 26 acre of land. Out of that 26 acre of land, the construction or the constructed area is in 3.5 acre of land, and the rest, all the land, is devoted to garden. Now, two-thirds of this palace has been converted into a hotel, which is managed by a Taj group of hotel, and one-third is with royal family, which they are still using as their residence. The construction of Umaid Bhawan Palace was started as a famine relief work. In 1925, when Maharaja Umaid Singh Ji gave 1,500 pounds in advance to the British firm Lanchester and Lodge, after researching 3 years of the ruling family's habits, the British company came with this idea and they created this palace in Jodhpur. The main highlight of this palace is that there is a no mortar between the stones. It's an intricate interlocking system has been used to erect this whole palace because that was a time when Jodhpur was under the severe drought. Another highlight of this whole building is that there is only the local material have been used in this, except black Italian marble, which is now in the part of the hotel as a reception of the hotel. Rest all is a local material which has been used. It has been made with the local sandstone of Jodhpur. Design and Art Deco. This palace took 13 years to get completed with the cost of 94 lakhs 51,000 rupees to Maharaja of Jodhpur. 3,000 families got their bread and butter working in this palace. And in 1944, the royal family of Jodhpur moves into this palace. This palace is entirely decorated by a Polish painter called Stephen Neroblin, and it was built by the British architect firm, as I earlier mentioned. Uh, there are the three rooms museum which you can visit inside, which have a collection of the royal family's crockery, some of the photographs of the royal family members, polo trophies which we have won in polo matches, and also Oriental Throne Room, which is one of the highlight of the museum of Umaid Bhawan Palace. When you go into this Oriental Throne Room, you will see a painting painted by Stephen from Epic Ramayana. Another highlight of this Umaid Bhawan Palace museum is the collection of antique clocks. There are the collection of vintage car also, which you can visit in Umaid Bhawan Palace. This is now a local bazaar of Jodhpur, and it's one of the very popular destination in Jodhpur. This is the main bazaar of Jodhpur from where the 80% of the population buys the thing. It's called Clock Tower, built in 1910 by Maharaja Sardar Singh Ji. Like other medieval cities, the clock tower also, there are the segments you can go it. The market is divided like a textile market, fruit and vegetable market, spice market, grain market. All the markets are there inside that in this clock tower. And this clock tower is also one of the main. It is related to our war of independence also. All the freedom fighters of Jodhpur generally used to gather here for any protest, and still it's one of the main site for the people to protest anything in the city. Mandore, this area was a capital of Rathore. Uh, Before our rule started in Jodhpur, this was our capital. Before Rathore rule started in Jodhpur also, this area was ruled by the Pratihar dynasty rulers. And once we shifted our capital from Mandore to Jodhpur, this area of Mandore was used as a cremation site for the royal family. So now in this Mandore garden area, we have a cluster of memorials built in a memory of our rulers. Some of them you can see in both. On my right hand side, this is the photograph of the memorial of Maharaja Takhat Singh, the 29th ruler of Jodhpur, who have been cremated here. He was the last ruler who have been cremated in Mandore Garden because Jaswant Singh II, his son, chose Jaswant to be his cremation site. So after Jaswant Singh, every ruler of Jodhpur was cremated in Jaswant itself. Mandore is also associated with Ravana. We Jodhpuri believe that the Mandore, whose earlier name was Mandavyapur, the Mandodari was the princess of this area, married to Ravana. Where this marriage happens, we do have in the ruins of this one of the hill areas of Mandore, we still have a huge Havan Kunda. We believe that this was the Havan Kunda where the marriage of Ravana happens. On the top of a hill, there is a ruin of our old fort of Mandore also there. It's totally ruined and under the archaeological state archaeology now. We are trying to excavate the area and we have created a one museum inside the Mandore garden where you can see whatever the artifacts we are getting from those hill area or the area of Mandore fort is being exhibited in this archaeological museum of Mandore garden. Unfortunately, this particular monument is not in our tourist itinerary anymore, but it's one of the really a very beautiful uh, cenotaphs of our Maharanis are there and our rulers are there. Before, when Mandore was a capital of this area, the cremation site for the royal family used to be this. It has 46 cenotaphs altogether in this Panchkund area of Jodhpur, and we call it Panchkunda Kshatriya or cenotaphs of Panchkunda. Not well kept also, but now since Mehrangarh Museum Trust have adopted this monument also, and we have started restoring and maintaining it. I'm sure definitely, this is the one of the paradise for the photographer. It is a very popular destination in for the Bollywood movie makers. Lots of a song, very popular song have been filmed inside this Panchkuda Chhatris. Especially, uh, there is a very famous song which is called "Vihale Masti Mukund Baranjesh Bahare Hijra Bechara." बेचारा दिल है सुनाई देती है जिसकी धड़कन तुम्हारा दिल या हमारा दिल है a song from Gulami. It's filmed inside this. When you see this song in a background, you will see all these beautiful senators of our Maharanis and Maharajas of Jodhpur. Even this area also has a senator of the founder of the city of Jodhpur, Rao Jodha. Our history will not be completed if I don't mention Durga Das Rathore. He is a commander of Jaswant Singh First Army, and he led our war against Aurangzeb. Jaswant Singh First, in the war of succession after Shahjahan, helped Dara Shikoh. And unfortunately, Dara Shikoh was defeated by Aurangzeb. But being one of a very powerful political figure of those days, Aurangzeb didn't like Jaswant Singh, and he always wanted him to keep away from Delhi's court. So he appointed him as a governor of Afghanistan while suppressing one of the coup against the Mughal dynasty in Afghanistan. Jaswant Singh laid his life. When he died, none of his heir was alive, and this gave a chance to Aurangzeb to annex Marwar into a Mughal empire. Soon after the death of Jaswant Singh, we got a heir to the throne, Maharaja Ajit Singh, and when it was requested to Aurangzeb to recognize Maharaja Ajit Singh as the heir of Jaswant Singh first and Maharaja of Marwar, Aurangzeb denied and put a condition that only one way, that if Maharaja Ajit Singh converted himself to be a Muslim, he will give his kingdom to him, which was not at all accepted to these Rathors. And we started a revolt against the decision of Aurangzeb of annexing Marwar. From 1678 till 1707, under the leadership of this commander of Rathore army, we kept fighting. And in 1707, we managed to defeat the Mughal army and got control of Jodhpur back. That's why in Rajasthan, when we talk about Durga Das Rathore, we always say, Damak damak dhol baje, de thal nagarari, आसे रे घर दुर्गोनी हो तो सुन्नत होती सारा की. Another main personality beside the royal family of Jodhpur, Sir Pratap, is the another legendary figure of our history. Whatever the modern development Jodhpur has today, being a second largest city of Rajasthan and educational hub, this all modern development started during the regentship of Sir Pratap. Sir Pratap was actually the second son of Maharaja Takhat Singh of Jodhpur, the 29th ruler of Jodhpur, and he served as a prime minister of Jodhpur during the reign of his elder brother Jaswant Singh II, and later he was associated with all the other four Maharajas as a reason because they were minor. One of he is also Major General of Jodhpur Lancers and one of the key factors of a high power. In Delhi, we have a Teen Murti Bhavan. Outside the Teen Murti Bhavan, there are the three statues of the soldiers. One of them is from Jodhpur. That's a Jodhpur Lancers soldier is there. This is the famous High Power, which is led by Sir Pratap. He got a knighthood also, and one of the main contributor of education. And he also, at the age of 70, he led Jodhpur Lancers in World War First also. Uh, After the World War, whatever the grant was given by Sir Pratap is very famous in Jodhpur, especially is just because of one of the decision taken by him. After the World War, we got a very big grant from British Empire, which has to be distributed among the soldiers of the Jodhpur Lancers. But Sir Pratap decided that he is not going to distribute this money to the soldiers. Instead of that, he will create a school for the commoners of Jodhpur. And he created one of a boarding school in Jodhpur, which is the one of the oldest boarding school in India also, and one of the largest also. Still, school runs in this uh, boarding school is still running, but now we have an English medium school which is associated with prestigious Mayo College named as Mayur Chopasni, and whereas a Hindi medium school is Chopasni school is still running. Chopasni school is one of the nobles has to pay. This was the first time I think in India was started by Sir Pratap. That's why Sir Pratap is a one of the legendary figure. He also built to commemorate Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee. We created a high court here in Jodhpur, which is now served as a Rajasthan High Court. This building was built under the supervision of Sir Pratap, which now is the main administrative building of Jodhpur, where all the administrative offices of the modern Jodhpur is still located, and High Court is also there. Since now High Court got a new building, but still some of the High Courts, some of the court work is still done in this Jubilee Court of Jodhpur. Without talking about the cuisine, I'm sure none of our tour is completed. Beside all the Rajasthani delicious food, including bajri ki roti, कैर सांगरी की सब्जी, मिर्ची कूटा, गट्टे की सब्जी. But Jodhpur is known for these two cuisine. On my right hand side is a sweet dish of Jodhpur, and on my right hand side, this is the one of the snack of Jodhpur known as mirchi bada. This is a red chili, a green chili stuffed with the smashed potatoes, then dipped in a basin and then deep fried. It's a one of a spicy uh, snack of Jodhpur. Sometimes serve as a breakfast, and sometimes it serve as a lunch for the localite. And on my left hand side, this is a sweet which is invented in Jodhpur and famous all over Rajasthan as mawa kachori. Beside that, pyaj ki kachori and lal mas. These are the other two major cuisine which our tourists should taste when they are in Jodhpur. This is all about a small presentation of Jodhpur. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was excellent. So you presented the Jodhpur and the monuments in very excellent way. Uh, I just wanted to know that I came across that there are you can say metal works, lot of metal works and artifacts happening in the Jodhpur. Is it correct?
Yes, we do metalworks also in Jodhpur. Nowadays, we have also started exporting sandstone from Jodhpur also, because we got a power machines now who can really cut down our stone into tiles. We are exporting it. Yes, metal artware is done, but generally it is in aluminum.
Yeah,
Yes, we
that's
do.
right. Because
Yeah.
lot of souvenir made from this aluminium, especially like the gods
Yes, yes,
souvenir
the
and all.
statues of a
That
god and some
that very
artifacts. Yes,
famous.
we are
Yeah,
making it. Still, we are making it. It's
correct.
aluminium work. Jodhpur is a cultural capital of Rajasthan. Also, we have a lots and lots of handicraft because time was a little constrained for me, and I wanted to cover it before I could have gone into the textile. Also, the textile of Jodhpur is very famous as far as our mojeries, the leather shoes which we make, with the embroidered leather shoes in Rajasthan, one of the best leather shoes are made here in Jodhpur, which we make from a camel leather.
Oh, great, great. And
Uh,
there are some other souvenir also made from camel leather that I have
yes,
seen
yes,
during the
that's
visit.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
this,
our duties are especially it's very famous, and because they are known for its quality, and we have a whole uh, artist families also where you can go. Even one of my travel companies, we do a workshop with these artists also, where tourists are taken to these artists home, and they teach them how to make the leather jutis, even though it's a very small one, but yes, they do it. When
yeah.
Miss Barar visited Jodhpur,
Mhm.
it was my pleasure to accompany her, and we went to one of the artist home at that at Jodhpur also, and we do
Correct.
this kind of. And beside this, there are lots of other destination which can be clubbed together, like Osia, where it's a 70 kilometers from Jodhpur, where we have a temple dated back ninth century till s- eh, till 16th century. It's a cluster of temples because actually our old capital, Mandore, was onto a business route which joins with the Silk Route of China.
Yeah.
So the ocean used to be one of a night halt in those days. So that's why we have a cluster of temples built in Ocean where these traders used to stay for a night, and then early morning they used to start their travel back towards Jaisalmer. So
Actually,
that can be also
Jodhpur now,
included. Yeah.
They are using travel agents. Actually, they are using as a transit point between Udaipur and Jaisalmer. But Jodhpur itself has a big history and a lot of the monuments, especially the tour of the Bisnoi village. It's interesting, very interesting, amazing tour of the Bisnoi village, and you can go in that area and you can meet with the local families. That is also amazing. The tour. Mayor, am I right?
Yes, yes, exactly, sir. But because um, I would definitely would make another webinar. I have not have covered all the aspect of the city of Jodhpur. I will definitely wanted to go, and if time permits, definitely I will make another webinar which covering Jodhpur and its adjoining areas also, where I will definitely cover all these Bishnoi villages what we have near us, which is our tourism product now. uh, we were only a transit point, and this is the how this safari have started in Jodhpur. That we wanted to make Jodhpur a tourist destination. So that's why, because Jodhpur is dotted with these traditional craftsman villages nearby, and this in this Vishnoi village safari, we take a tourist to all these craftsmen's home where they see how they work, and they can buy from directly from them. This is how we are now trying to popularize it. And even now, in the COVID situation, there is a village which has been adopted by UNESCO also. It's a craftsman village of cotton rugs, where generally when we take a tour to Bishnoi village, we go to this village also, where we show this unique art of Jodhpur, which used to be, we call it dari or a cotton rug. It's interlocking weaving and done in this area of 180 kilometers of Jodhpur. And now the UNESCO have adopted these craftsmen, where they have trying to provide more market and more, I will say, kind of economic support to this art, because it slowly it is dying.
Okay,
As it,
so it was a very informative session about Jodhpur and the adjoining places. We learnt about the Umaid Bhawan Palace and the Mandore Garden and the other things related to Jodhpur, the history of Jodhpur, about the Durga Das Rathore. We have learned in our history, and you spoke well about it. And of course the artifacts, the monuments, the speciality of the Umaid Bhawan Palace. You told that how it is built. So these all things are unique that we came to know today, and of course uh, we came to know about the souvenir products and the artifacts that is available. Whole of the Rajasthan is famous for souvenir products, and now it is our endeavor also to promote souvenir as one of the key products along with the tourism, because the souvenir gives this memory to the person who is carrying with him, and he keeps it, and when he sees again and again he get reminded of that place that he visited. So these are the things that is very unique for Rajasthan and especially Jodhpur. So you given the very good glimpse of this uh, Jodhpur. So thank you, Mr. Kunal and Dr. Ajay Singh and the other teams, the viewers, the participants, and the NEGD team. Thank you all for today's episode. And Dr. Ajay Singh, would you like to say anything?
Sir, just I want to pass the message to our respected viewers that when you are visiting Jodhpur or the Marwar region, the best guide is Kunal Singh Rathore there. So, Kunal Singh Rathore ji, may I request you to just leave your number here. You can just read slowly so that it will be in record. And dear viewer, our all these webinars is available in ministry website, and there is a humble request to you. These webinars, please share the video of these webinars with your friends, family members, relatives. And also, if you have friends from the abroad, please share these webinars to those friends. So like that, you will help to push the tourism in India. So Kunal Singh Rathore ji, please leave your number here. So it will help the visitors to contact you.
Thank you. Thank you.
my numbers are 94141 28941.
Okay.
Beside, before I say goodbye, we in our dialect we don't have any word to say goodbye. We always say padharo, which
Yeah,
means
yeah.
welcome.
All the time. Yes, yes, yes. Very nice.
I
Very
hope
nice.
it's even though the time was a little constrained and I was running like,
We will come back. We will come back, Kunal Singh Rathore.
but definitely
Just
I
we
will.
want to see these small destinations like Bishnoi village or these, the cotton product
Yes,
these. This kind
absolutely. I would love to
of
cover
destination will bring to the visitor.
Ojna. I would love to cover Bishnoi villages as well as the other destinations of Jodhpur, and even Jodhpur in a little bit more elaborative way. It was a really a very short. Um, I will say it's just an eye opener for you. What Jodhpur, the second largest city of Rajasthan, is offering to the tourist. Once
Over
again, thank
over
you very much for giving me this opportunity to present, even though what a little knowledge I have about my city, I have shared it. But it was my pleasure to be in this prestigious webinar. Thanks, Ajay Singh ji. Thanks, the Ministry of Tourism, for providing me this. Appreciate it. Thank you all, and I wish you. And I will
Thanks.
end with this.
Thanks
Padharo
again.
Maride. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks
Thanks,
a lot.
Joe. Thanks.